97X, the rock station, the legend. It is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Good morning, Stone Cold.
Hey, good morning. What the hell's going on?
Oh, we good, man. Do you, you retired in 2003, but you seem like you're busier than ever.
I retired from the wrestling business in 2003, but yeah, I am busier than ever, and I'm real happy about that. The business of pro wrestling was really good to me. I was good for it, and it gave me the opportunity to be able to host a couple of real badass shows with CMT and to come up with my podcast. And so I'm as busy as I want to be, and I'm very happy about that. And I've been very, very fortunate. So I'm counting my blessings.
You're one of the. I tell you what, those years when you were in wrestling. Some of the funniest stuff. You got it, man. You got everything. You're the complete package. And I tell you what, growing up watching you Monday nights was just fun.
Man, I tell you what, someone sent me a clip yesterday on my email address to my Steve Austin Show podcast, and it was a show where I came out. I can't remember where we were working, but Rock was working with Mick Foley, and there was no disqualification. And Vince and all his guys are ringside. DX was ringside. I came out about the 11-minute mark. The roof blew off the place because Rock and Mick were just having this killer match. And I look back at stuff like that, and I just laugh my head off because all of us guys, and we had an all-star crew there. I mean, almost everybody ringside is going to be in the Hall of Fame one of these days. So it was a lot of fun. I don't live in the past, but sometimes people send me these videos. But, hey, man, nothing but great memories about the business of pro wrestling. I loved every bit of it.
Oh, yeah. I imagine so.
Yeah, speaking of way back in the day, and I'm taking it all the way back to the WCW days, Eric Bischoff, he had proclaimed, very incorrectly I might add, that you were unmarketable. And by the way, I'm going to say he took the pussy way out by not terminating you face to face. Did Bischoff ever try to reconcile with you anytime over the years?
No, you know what? Every time Eric comes to Los Angeles these days, he's got a place over in Santa Monica, and man, we'll get together and meet at a local restaurant over here and drink beer together and just shoot the breeze and talk about the new stuff he's up to and stuff I'm doing now, and just visit. So there's no heat or animosity towards me between me and Eric Bischoff. Now, back at the time, in defense of him, when I look back and see this scraggly-haired blonde guy, I could work in the ring. There was no doubt about it. But I didn't see, if I look back now, hindsight being 2020, I didn't see, hey, this guy's going to be a major superstar in the business of wrestling. At that time, I was a little bit injury prone. I had some knee issues. I tore my tricep off my elbow, so I can't fault Eric for that. And it took going through ECW for Paul Lee to help kind of christen me and light me up on the promos. It took the shaved head. It took the evolution. It took me 7.5 years to become an overnight star. So between me and Eric, and I respect what he did. And when it all said and done, I would have rather been fired in person at the CNN Center, but that's the way it goes. And I got no hard feelings towards Eric. He's actually a friend of mine right now.
That's cool. I like to hear that. And yeah, you definitely broke out in the ECW days. I felt like that's where your promos really started to shine. So by the time, we got to the Attitude Era, you were just on fire.
Well, I tell you what, you're being pushed by, guys like, Raven was laying down some heavy promos. Shane Douglas was laying down heavy promos. Mick Foley, Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, all those guys were badass. And then all of a sudden you had to follow that up, but you had Paul Lee to guide you. So, hey, man, my stop over there was brief in ECW, but it was paramount as far as, what I was going to be able to do in WWF once I got there. So, swig a beer to ECW days.
No doubt.
Now, speaking of beer, if anybody needs their own beer, it'd be you, Stone Cold. So where can we get this Broken Skull IPA beer? I haven't seen it locally.
Well, right now we're based in the state of California, all over the state of California in Whole Foods and Total Wine stores. But if you're in a state that allows it to be delivered, you can order it at InsideTheCellar.com.
Okay.
And I tell you what, man, I sat over a table with Rob Croxall, the owner of El Segundo Brewing Company, with about 10 or 12 different beers. And I was explaining the different profiles, how these hops rolled in, the bitterness, and what I liked in all these beers, because I drink specifically IPAs these days, and it took about 8 months to get there. And, man, I tell you what, he cranked out a formula, and it struck like gold. And I think it's one of the best IPAs in the United States of America. We're looking to make inroads into Texas in March, because that's where I'm from, and Austin has a great craft brew scene there, but you can get it nationwide through InsideTheCellar.com. It's a little expensive to ship, but those are 22-ounce bombers, and it just is what it is. But we're working on moving forward, and I'm very proud of the beer, and I'm excited. When I go to my refrigerator and I got a beer with my name on it, badass beer, it's a good day at the office.
I'd say so. Now, Steve Austin's Broken Skull Challenge has been on. How many seasons has that been on? It's just such a successful show.
Yeah, this is season 3, and we filmed 18 episodes this year. And I tell you what, man, if you thought the first 2 was cool, wait till you see how the competition ratchets up this year, because we have people. I have national champion amateur wrestlers. I have some of the best obstacle course racers in the world. I've got these badasses from the world of CrossFit and Spartan Race, and all these people are coming out here, and they're training specifically for the events and specifically for the elements that are the Skull Buster. And every year we tweak the Skull Buster a little bit, but it remains for the most part the same. But this year we've got a couple of water-based challenges which are just totally off the hook. So it's a great show.
Oh, it's a good show.
I love hardcore competition. There's no BS out there. What you see is the real deal. It is simple and it's effective.
Oh, it's great. Sunday nights at 7. Now, walk us through. See, I told you you're a busy man, retired, but you're so busy between that and the podcast. And you got Redneck Island, which starts January 28th. What's Redneck Island?
Oh, man, we brought back, we've got 24 people from the South out there, and I always like to explain it as like a countrified Olympics. These kids come in and we put them in a house, and they have to pick up. We brought back 12 veterans, and we brought 12 rookies in, and the veterans have to pair with a rookie of the opposite sex and compete against each other in team-based competitions. My new co-host this year is Melissa Rycroft, who is outstanding. And so, at the end of the day, there's an elimination every episode where 2 people will go home, and they're battling for $100,000. So I love this show because I like hanging around these hell-raising kids, and they're good kids. I got a house on the lake. I got a Kawasaki jet ski. I got a gym right there by my house. It's like a paid vacation to go out here and have fun with all these kids from the South. It's an awesome show, and I'm proud of that show, too.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff. Well, back growing up here, WCW used to come to Panama City Beach, and it used to be during spring break, and they had the floating rings and all that stuff. And, man, I know you got some pull, Steve. Could you get WWE back down here to Panama City and do something wild again? Because there was some of the craziest things happen here in Panama City Beach with wrestling.
Man, I know it was back in the day. And, man, we're talking, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I got any stroke within the confines of WWE right now. I know they're gearing up. They got WrestleMania 32 in Dallas coming right around the corner, and they're trying to put 100,000 people in there. So
yes,
I'm going to let them get through WrestleMania 32 before I drop that on them. How about that?
Oh, deal. All right, so Steve Austin's Broken Skull Challenge, Sunday night, 7 o'clock, and then Redneck Island will be on the 28th at 9 o'clock Eastern time, so good stuff there.
All right, hey.
Thursdays on Thursday.
Thursdays. Many of your fellow wrestling legends still performing in their 50s and 60s. You're in your 50s now. Were it not for the career-ending injuries, would you still like to be actively performing wrestling?
No, not actively performing. I just turned 51 this past December.
That's right.
And I retired from the business at 38 years of age, man. I left a lot of action on the table, left a lot of money on the table. I would have liked to probably made it till about 45, and then I would have rode off into the sunset. So, man, I'm happy. I would have liked to gone out a little bit better than I did, without the injury. But, man, when I look back at it, I feel so good right now physically. If I'd have took another 4, 5, 6, 7 years of, the beatings that you take inside that ring.
Yeah, heavy bumps.
Gravity and physics are real. Those bumps are real. And I'm in a good place right now, and I have no regrets, and it is what it is. And that career in that business enabled me to turn everything that I've turned everything into. So, swig a beer to the pro wrestling industry.
There you go. Stone Cold, it's been a pleasure and honor to talk to you. Thank you so much for what you do, and we appreciate the entertainment you gave us through the years, and we'll keep watching you.
Hey, thank you guys for the opportunity to promote the shows.
Thank you. Take care, Steve.
Yes, sir.